Hello, welcome to this episode of Auto Tutorials by Levonotion Studios. My name is Lydia, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can set up image references for your modeling projects in Blender. Let's get started. So I'm going to show you two different ways of setting up references. So I'm going to bring this up. So in this window, I have two different types of referencing. The first one is both the front view and the side view and the same image. So this is the front view of the character, the side view. Then the second one is, this is the back view, the bottom view, the front view, the side view, and the top view of the model. So I'm going to start with the character, then we're going to move to this other type of referencing. So this character, Aniva, was created, I think 2 years ago, and I used that reference to create her. We have a speed up time-lapse video on how she was created, so you can check that out and see how I modeled her. So for now, I'm going to set up the image. So I'm going to go to one means, okay, let me bring this up, front orthographic view. So when you click on 1, you go to the front, 3, you go to the right side view, then 7 for the top view. And if you want to switch, maybe you want to go to the bottom, you click on 9. If you are in 1 and you want to go to the back, you click on 9. We're going to flip it to the back. So now on 1, I want to bring in the picture. So I'm going to drag this in. So I have the character here in the front view. So when you click on the image, you go to the property editor and you see this the settings for the image. So right now is showing the orthographic view and the perspective view. So for now, I'm going to go to 3 to bring in the picture again, the same picture. So is in. So I have these two images. So Alt-G to reset them to the origin, so that I can select both, select the first one, select the second one, and scale them down together. So for now, we really don't need this character because obviously if you are doing this, you don't have the character yet. So I'm going to hide her. And then make sure I activate the opacity. So you can just check this to activate opacity. But since I have both the front view and the side view selected, I have to hold down Alt, so that whatever I do to the active image will also reflect to the other selected images. So when I click this, I can change the opacity. So if I do this, you see that it's working for both. But if Alt is not on and I do that, it's only going to work for the active one. So make sure Alt is selected while you do this. So go back to 1. Then I'll make sure the character is right there, dead center. You can also set this up while setting up your references. Make sure you have maybe a line demarcating the middle of the character, so you can easily place the reference. So I'll move it G and X to move it. So now let's say this is what I want. Let me bring up the Aniva character. Oh, she's taller, so just take this up. If I want her to scale, everything to work from this origin, I'll just make sure my cursor is the origin. Then click on the period key and click and use 3D cursor. So whatever I do now, we work from the 3D cursor. So if I scale it up, you see it's using that as a reference point to scale up the reference. So I think this is good. So let me hide Aniva back. Then now we are done with the front view. To go to 3, which is side view, make sure you select the side, G, and move it Y. So you can move it. So make sure this one too is somewhere in the middle. So if I check the Aniva again, you see almost the same location. So it's easy and straightforward. And if you don't want this to show in your perspective, you just want to concentrate on modeling, make sure you select it and uncheck perspective. Select uncheck perspective. But when you're in your orthographic view, you see the references. Then when you go to 3, you see your reference there. So it's just going to constrain it to the orthographic view and not the perspective view. So that is done. Now, for the second type, I'm going to open up the file. This is the bottle, and this right here are the images for that bottle, the sketches for the bottle. So one thing you should note is that if you look at this picture, look at this and this, they are the same size. I found out the hard way when I was trying to work on this project, and at first I was using different sizes for them, but it was a pain to set up in Blender. So I figured out that make sure everything has the same size. Like this one is 4504 by 4957, the same thing, 4504 by 4957. So just make sure everything has the same dimension so that when you bring it in Blender, it will be easy and fast to set up. So now if I go to 1, you see front, you see the image 3, 7, 9 to go to the bottom, 1, then 9 to go to the back. So this is the back. If I hide the bottle, you see the sketch there. So this is how you started. So let me set this up from scratch, this bottle, and see how you can do it with your own project. So go to File, New, General. Don't save. Then let me delete everything in this scene. So to start, I'll go to 1 and bring in the front view. So this is the front. Go to 3, bring in the side. Go back to 1 and click on 9, so that I'm going to put it at the back. This is the back. Then 7 for the top. So you go to top, drag it in. I should actually name this. This is top so as to avoid confusion. This is the back. This is the side. Then okay, this one is the front. So now what is left? I think I'm left with the bottom. So I'll go to 7 and click on 9 to flip. Then I'm going to bring in the bottom sketch. So now we have all the pictures, all the images in Blender. So let me rename the last one. Oh, it wasn't in. It's actually replaced the picture. So when I go to 7, it replaced this with the bottom one. So let me replace the back, top. So now I'm going to make sure I'm off the picture to bring in the image. So now this is the bottom. So now I have all the pictures. So I'm going to select everything, Alt-G, to make sure they are kind of aligned in a way. So we start with the front, which is this image here. So I want the front, just bring it in to just be somewhere dead center. So the side, the same thing. But I like to move. So if you can see this top, and let me move it up a little bit. The top and the bottom, they are not facing the right direction. So they should be facing where the bottle is facing. So if I go to the top, I'm going to rotate it this way. That's minus 90. So they are facing the right direction now. So I'm going to move this bottom. I'm going to move this up. And to the center. You see this mark here? I'm going to follow it. Then the bottom. Let me go to 7, 9 to see where the bottom is and just move it to. I could have moved it with the top too, so they are aligned, but you get the gist. So now, to constrain each one to its axle, like this front to the front view, just say constrain only axle. So if I go to 9, that's the back. It's confusing. Let me hide the rest. Yeah, this is the back. Okay. This is the back. Move it to the right position. So let me just bring in a cube so we can actually know what we are doing. Go to the front. Just roughly create something. And I can as well add a subdivision to this, Ctrl R. That's in edit mode. Then drag this to kind of fit in. So now to the side 3. Where's my side view? Yeah. So just only axle. So I'm going to constrain it to this axle. So I'm going to scale this down. Y. Scale it in the Y axle. Then bring this back. Yeah. So now this is the bottom, so it should go down. Then it should move back. Then the top. Let me activate the opacity for everything so I can actually see through them. Alt, then click on opacity. So now with the top, I can actually move and see through. So the top, the bottom, the front, the side, then the back. For the front, okay, let me activate the opacity. The back. So if I go to the front, this is the front. The back, this is the back. The side, this is the side. The top, this is the top. 9 to go to the bottom, this is the bottom. So you can start modeling and start dragging and extruding and doing all those, that interesting modeling. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope it wasn't too boring. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Levonotion Studios if you've not done so, and until next time, stay true to your creativity. Bye bye.